much of an idea that it's just beautiful because finally, like, I feel not finally, but like I definitely feel like since I was a boy, I felt life was a rocket. I felt like it's supposed to be fun. And
Mm.
I saw so much misery and I just wanted to be happy. And it's interesting that
Play.
you like we need to really keep that playfulness. Like, and I remember when we met in Tulum, bro. I remember we were at the Love House and you got
Yeah,
up at dinner and you're like, "We are kings. I'm a king. We're
I
kings.
did it.
This is our playground." Yes, I remember you got up and
Oh,
said
I
it, and
don't
I was
remember.
like, I looked at there and I just smiled and I was so happy because it was like, yes, this man, he's willing to just be himself, and it's so beautiful to just observe and play, and it doesn't mean when I say play, it's like some people think that it's about like partying or um
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
the
It's so
like the
far away off.
DJs or the things like this. No, like I think the big part of playfulness is also facing serious situations and making it creative, making it curious,
Yeah, making
asking
about the
why.
journey.
Yeah.
It's about the journey. So enjoying the moment of whatever is going on, trusting that the universe is the way I think about that. I look back in my life, and okay, universe always had my back covered, one or another way. It always found the ways how to take care of me. And why would it be different now?
Just have to listen.
And as you say, be creative and grateful. And what is creative means, it's actually being in the unknown, either expressing or being is it's making something that it's creative. It's never been made before, kind of. It's not uh, exploring, discovering. I think it's the right word. Yeah.
Do you think if we got educated sooner to learn how to discover ourselves, that our societies would encourage that creative artistic expression of life more?
What was the question?
So my hallucination is that if we curated an education system based off of creativity and encouraging a layering of knowing that people don't need to be right or wrong, but instead being creative and using their manifestation of this wisdom to come through a level of excellence and encourage that level of behavior in school as youth. um,
For sure.
would we be able, if people were eating better, if people were taking care more in nature, if they were more curious about what's going on in the economics, if they understood themselves, if they paid attention to their creativity, and if they knew that everything was possible based off of their own level of vibration, do you believe that we could leave a better, or do you think our children could lead a better world or lead a more empowering experience of life?
100%. first we have to believe it. Somebody has to imagine for it to happen, right? So literally we just need to be able to imagine it and then allow it to unfold, and accept that this is possible in our lifetime, and whatever the story we want to attach, but starts within. And if I believe that there is possibility for this kind of education, where one of the principles I see it would or should or would, I don't know, be, but like understanding that everyone is the artist, but only the artist knows that. And like the in that case, people who are in charge for education, they have to be done, like, how to say, went through inner journey already. Yeah, like the deep level of, and I think that's even, it's very kind of sounds, I think, possible or easy to manifest, because it's just a protocol in the end, that we decide that, okay, this is how we want to orchestrate our lives, and this is what kind of experience we want to have for our children's to grow up in. Environment I'm talking about, like what kind of environment we want to the new generation to grow up in. Very simple and created. There is no one who will come and do it for us. Like, it's our responsibility, it's our life, it's our generations, it's our earth, it's our playground, to be true. It's nobody genuinely knows what the fuck we're doing here and where are we coming from. When I look from that perspective, we think that we know, okay, it's all good, and we do our best in integrity we can understand nature with. That doesn't exclude the fact that nobody doesn't understand what's going on here. And if we're able to meet in that primal state where we all just like don't understand what is going on here, but hey, let's do the best out of it, whatever we have. Let's play with the cards we've been dealt with. As simple as that. And maximum,
It's like curiosity.
Oh man, because if I agree with and let's say we organize something and we all agree that none of us is knowing what we are doing fundamentally, because we just cannot know. It doesn't matter how much we think we know the purpose. It can be very different from intention, and the purpose is going to be for somebody else, most likely not for us, and maybe yes and for us and somebody else, and it's going to be very authentic and individual to every single person of planet Earth, whatever we're going to do. Let's say poetry, I write a poem and I have this principle that artists should not judge its own creation, because that's the error in a creation. So if I express the lyrics, then it's not for me. It's just like literally I have to let go, just I've been the channel, dumped it, maybe correct to make it more nice, more feelings connected, yes. But then I can think that I know, the purpose for this lyrics is for that person or for that reason, but I don't have a clue. I don't know. I can assume, and that's it. Like, it's just, I don't have power, nor I want to have the power of being in control of influencing someone's decision, someone's feeling, like, I think that's a principle of sovereignty, that we all are fundamentally responsible for our feelings and emotions. Period. It's so simple to operate in the community that this one is very established. There is no room for games. There is no room for drama. And I'm not saying drama sometimes is not healthy, but yeah. But when we have this primal understandings of protocol that we operate here, and I'm talking now specific about the Corky Town, for example. That's where I live, in the mountains. And one beautiful protocol we have that is not written, we don't have to write it down, is just very clear. If nobody feels cooking, then we all snacking. If somebody feels for cooking, then comes from love, then comes from passion, then people collaborate, hey, let's cook. Okay, I want to support this. I'm going to peel the potatoes. Let's do it. It just becomes when we don't need to push each other and things, the beautiful symbiosis and harmony, this beautiful dance of nature is just, it's immediacy. We call it immediacy in Burning Man community. And that's something very beautiful to experience because it's just magic. You make a wish, you want to have a cup of tea. Somebody shows up, like, hey, I'm making a tea. Would you like a tea? That level of manifestation and appearance of wishes fulfilled in the moment is just wow. And mystery. It's always in the unknown. It's always theater, some kind of show. You don't know what's going on anywhere. Like there's so many universes going on all over the place. It's just so beautiful. Therefore, I feel learning. I was privileged to learn a lot about Burning Man culture through my own experiences, and I see that as a very healthy way of being adults. Because when we gather as a children to camp together, and it could be anywhere. It could be the desert, could be in the fields, but we come and collaborate on creating life celebration for ourselves and stepping in together in that unknown with a family I have not met yet before. Coming to the new place, meeting new people, and becoming family in a few hours or almost immediately. When I come to Bern, for example, I don't come to someone's birthday. I don't go to someone's land. I come home. Whoever puts the label Bern, it's you have to be aware if you ever like put a Bern label on your event, then you have to be so confident in accepting the unknown, and because you don't know what's going to happen, you just don't know what people are bringing, you just don't know what's going to, maybe the music is never going to stop, and that's one of the principles, that there's a full expression and immediacy is just so healthy to play. So we create this very, very safe environment. We have people, always we have people taking the responsibilities and shifts in all kind of during the whole event, let's say, if it call it event, but during the gathering we have shifts. So some people stay sober all the time and hangs out for, if it's a small event, like, then for example, the shift is 24 hours completely sober. Just be a guardian, be an angel if somebody has, like some weird experience or whatever is going on. So we play it in a very responsible way, an adult, and I'm very inspired by community. I found the hope in Burning Man in 2018. Hope in humanity, because I see this community expanding. So I know we're going to make it. There is a lot of builders. There is a lot of cool people that are just doing it for sake of doing, from expression of love, whatever you put it, just listening to the inner guidance and just creating, nonstop creating, exploring, discovering, developing, making better, making next level. Yeah, it's so beautiful. In the rocket. Yeah, man. We built the rocket in Amberburn in Lithuania. You heard about the story, but that's where I got affected by the rocket and what power it is. And what does the rocket mean? I start noticing that there is this, Elton John. He's a rocket man. Very cool experience. Will you gonna come to Pink Fest? Somebody asked me, and I said, "Oh, I haven't asked that yet, Eric." Uh,
Am I
End
gonna
of
go?
May. Yeah,
Uh, yeah. I mean, if I have no problem coming out there. To me, this is a
perfect.
very easy experience to create and make happen. And support. Uh, my intention is to be at all of the events. So not only this, my intention is to also go to BTC Prague. Um,
Yeah,
I
nice.
have a lot of these intentions. So the intention is in the world, and so we'll see what
I like it.
manifests. Yeah.
Allowing it to unfold. Beautiful.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
and even
I saw the
Warsaw,
vision.
even Warsaw. Like
Yeah,
I told Pierre, for the screening and stuff like this, that my intention is to be in Warsaw in April.
yeah,
And I let them know. If it happens and it manifests, then we'll see. But the intention is there.
yeah.
The value and the direction and the drive is there. And I
Nice.
know that by coming there we can create even more, or by being in the presence we can create more. So
Yeah, exactly.
uh, it's really about trusting now that the universe has my back.
Yeah, it will put you where it needs to, where you need to be, kind of.
And that's how I've been living my life for, I mean, how long.
I know. I know.
So it's just being in service and knowing that what I need to do, I need to do, and whichever way that looks like, I trust. It's like, even with the company we're setting up here in Alberta, I told David, I said, David, like, I can set everything up, I can do all of this, but like, uh, you know, we have expenses and things like this. And he's like, don't worry, I got it. Don't worry. So these are the
Yeah,
things, is like,
nice. Yeah.
um,
It's also the daring to ask, or not even ask, but express the situation correctly.
right. So
Not to try to shy away. Like, beautiful.
yeah. Yeah, well, this is my thing, is like, because the level of, like, money has always been like, I always felt like I need to go and figure it out. I need to do everything to figure it out. I need to, like, so
I'm just having a flashbacks. I'm just having a flashbacks when I called you after we connected and we played with the thought to go to Madeira, and then I called you 3 days later, and I was okay, brother. So what's the situation, and how, like, what is the truth? Oh, I'll never forget that beautiful view and the expression, and so I add value through energy, through my presence, my and this is so true, man. This is so true. So if the community would understand the importance, for example, of you coming to those events and what you're going to bring to the table for the whole Bitcoin network, for the whole Bitcoin, this is your proof of work. Like, so I think it would be kind of proof of work from community to support, I feel genuinely. Therefore, I am supporting as much as I can, or there is opportunity. And therefore, I invite everyone to chip in for Eric to go to events and be the light and shine and mesmerize people and share stories and cry together and make laugh and like just have a good time. And I think that's kind of community's responsibility as well. We cannot ignore that this part, it's very important that somebody is taking care of in Bitcoin network. That's a role. That's a responsible role. So it doesn't mean that you now suddenly, because you've been gifted with this role, or I'm talking also about myself, if we feel that this is a role, or the role, maybe for us is not a thing to think about how to make another Satoshi or how to make another euro. Like for us, it's about being ourselves and being supported by the network to do our proof of work, because you and I, we know how much we contribute to the whole network. We can assume, estimate, we don't know, but like we have a big picture of what's going on here. Yeah, man, we're doing it. No matter, no matter, are we gonna be supported or are we gonna figure it out our way? It's not about us anyway, and I think we both meet very well in this on this philosophy. So when you yesterday suggested that opportunity for me to support the course you created, this is for me the opportunity to share my wealth with my brother, and do it not even with my brother, it's to share my wealth with the world. So I'm super grateful and inspired for that, because I live in Kolkata. Expenses is very low here. So why do I need the wealth? Why do the God granted me this responsibility that comes with wealth? So I would use it. I would play it. There is no point of having more Bitcoin in my head. What's the point? It's still in the head, man. I like my brother, another brother, Joe is saying, I don't want to be the wealthiest man in a cemetery. And I can relate to that very well. What's the point? It doesn't make sense just anymore. And I see that few people around me still having difficulty to understand the depth of my generosity and my way of playing. But I'm not. But I'm unstoppable, man. I'm sharing my generosity left and right. You know me. Just like, here you go. Oh, beautiful idea. How can I contribute? Do you need this? Okay, I invest. I go. Let's go. I like people. This is my rocket way. I love shooting up people into finally breaking out and dreaming fearlessly and abundantly, at least for 1 hour. Let's go now to the Disneyland room and have fun, without scarcity, without lack mentality. It's just like, okay, let's go, let's go. And then on the other side is already transformation. The rocket is on fire, flying, building. It's so cool. And this is my genius. And for me, if I would try to go and make now another Satoshi, work for money or whatever, I'm not doing my part, what I feel is the most important right now. So I'm limiting myself. If I focus on make another Satoshi, I'm limiting myself for doing the work, bringing new people, onboarding, hearing the stories, being the storyteller, dreaming together, and then supporting on creation unconditionally. I'm very straightforward. I'm like value for value. I do it, and then universe will find a way how to take care of me. You don't have to worry. If it bothers you, let it go immediately. You know me. I asked you many times this question. If it bothers you, just we let it go and we forget about it. It doesn't make me less wealthy. It just doesn't make me less wealthy. It doesn't matter. The wealth is within, and peer to peer. network is wealth. It's cool. Because we do what we love doing. Now we have a safe haven to make a transaction between ourselves, so we can share. So there's no one can drain our efforts, and it's so beautiful. I think we would do it anyways. Just Bitcoin gives us such a stable ground, such it seems like the universe just grants us with a abundance of wealth. And it's not that as, oh, it comes with responsibility. Yeah, fuck, responsibilities is cool. But it's also cool what actually we can bring to the table and how we can impact the world and how can we have fun while doing it. Permissionless, man. I love this. Permissionless society, whatever we call it, just the ego label. But it's a beautiful way of thinking, permissionless, because I started recognizing how often I'm still asking for permission without being aware about it. And I'm not saying that asking permission is it's wrong, but if it comes without awareness, then it could be pleasing. Then it could be, it's not me talking, my program's just running. Discovery, bro. It's a beautiful thing. It's following the trust within. It's kind of, I know I'm gonna figure that out. There is something here. It's a full on curiosity. It's like I feel it. I don't know, but I feel it. This is like, okay. Let me get dirty here. It's the same. Like I was just recording to Rafa, playing with piano. She asked to record the song so she can write the article, and she could include that into article and share it to the people. And I was, whoa, fuck yeah. I will play a song for you. And I just few weeks, the first time I took the piano in my hands, literally where I spent time connecting and exploring my fingers. My fingers were like not working. Now they start working and operating. I can have flow. And learning through the way of discovering rather that I would be learning from the books is just my way of doing it. I cannot learn how to play piano from the book. Sorry, man. It doesn't matter how much they try to do that in the school. It never went through. And maybe, yes, for somebody it works. It's just, that's why, yeah, that's why school for me was just, it was fun to play with kids. Yeah, it was a playground. But I did not have curiosity the way I have now for studying stuff because it was so boring. The way it was tried to present to us, there's so many frames and so many. And I'm not talking negatively about education system, because I think because of that, this is who I am today. So I got to see, so I could create better. I got to experience what not to create. It's easy to navigate. I'm ranting, man. I'm on the
Oh no, you're
rant.
flowing. You're not ranting. You're not even ranting. You're
Yeah,
flowing. You're
but yeah, I like it.
coming
Flowing.
through you as you. It's beautiful to listen, and I think if anybody's really paying attention, then they can hear it. And it's fascinating because when you were in your heart, you were. I mean, you've been in your heart the whole time, but the thing is that you were speaking from a different state of more socially conscious when you had the green on.
Mm,
Then you took your sweater off and you started speaking from a different higher level of awareness. So it's
interesting.
interesting now you have the purple shirt, or at least it looks purple from
Mm,
here.
mm,
Purple blue yellowish, very throat chakra looking color. So then you started speaking from a higher level of like awareness, again, from my perspective or my listening.
I love it. I love it. I love your observation.
Yeah, it's interesting how the universe is always communicating through all of that, and then you can hear it flowing through you with such precision. It's almost as if anybody that is on the same playing field or same level of
Frequency.
awareness can really tap into your experience and put themselves there because they have that space of compassion for themselves. So then, as a result, they recognize they're hearing what you're saying as a result of themselves. And this is beautiful because it gives the capacity to then know that they're, after all, not so different. Which is what makes us the big family, anyways, right? So
yeah,
I think it's beautiful because when you're flowing, like a lot of the things that most of us are saying to each other are very similar. The thing is that most people aren't really paying attention or hearing the patterns, and so they're not necessarily aware of identifying and understanding that, hold on a second, this is the same thing that I experienced in my own life, or how I've been feeling in my own life, or how I want to step up into that responsibility in my own life, and then seeing, whoa, okay, well, it's the same thing. So when we start realizing those patterns, we can start to create new ones, because then we're like, oh my goodness, we can come together to utilize that magic and bring life, create life, create new opportunities. Because then we're stepping on the shoulders of those old patterns, learning from them, and then creating new ones. And I think that most people, again, from my perspective, they don't express that because they're like, they start to go into that level of comparison or competition, versus saying, oh wait, this is like a beautiful mirror of mine that is actually resonating the same level of intention within myself. And then as a result saying, hey, how can we do this together and move forward and figure it out and drive? Versus, because they're finding the answers, or they're needing to know the how, versus figuring it out together.
Bro, I'm curious. Why do you want to talk about like such things as most people? I want to understand you better in you using the like a most people term.
Yeah, I'll tell you that right away. Just give me a pee. I gotta pee.
Right.
Okay, so what's your question?
So I'm curious, where is it coming from? If you wanted to dive in to unpack, for I want to understand you better. Why do you, when we having a conversation and we talk, and then you lean into most people, which is generalizing in some way. I'm curious, why do you're curious to talk about other people? Maybe that's the question. And I feel uncomfortable asking it.
No, it's a beautiful question. So in fact, it's not generalizing. If I were to say everybody, that's generalizing.
Okay.
But most people is a high level of people that are curious about things that they don't necessarily express. So deleting, distorting, or overgeneralization would be me saying everybody. That is a generalization.
Yeah.
When we say most people, we know that to be a fact
Okay.
because, For example,
Okay.
for example, so let me just give you an example before you keep going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if we think of how many people have been manipulated by currency on economic disparity for thousands of years, we can say most people are, but not everybody.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm curious. This is because I think I'm just getting confused in those moments. That's why I'm curious. Because do you include yourself, or do you? Because I think there is for me the shortage of understanding there. Do you include yourself in the most people, or you don't include yourself or us in the most people? I think that's what is missing for me.
So when I'm speaking, I am speaking as an observer.
Mm, cool.
You see,
You're great. You are very great in that. And that.
when it's coming
Yeah.
through us, it's coming through as an observer,
Mm,
as a witness, right? And so if we remove ourselves from the situation of experiencing us in human form, and we can observe and zoom out, we can then see the perspectives of all different maps of consciousness.
yeah. For me, it's been very important somehow to dissociate when I share the story, and if it's coming from my personal experience, then I speak from the perspective of I. It doesn't matter how much I know that story is relevant for or it could be very the same for a lot of people. I still like to own it, because I think that in that case it leaves for whoever's listening this free choice to attach themselves to that or not. But when if I would use you as a word you instead of, then I talk about my my
That's a
my
projection.
story. Yeah, and I'm getting very confused, and people are talking, telling there's something telling, and then then you've been, and then you go into this. I'm like, me? I don't know. Like, what? So it gets very confusing.
Yeah. So there's a very it's very important. So when you're talking from experience, right, you're able to speak from a level of personal experience that comes back to the elements of I, the small I. But then there's an
Yeah,
opportunity when you have lots of different experiences to speak from an observer perspective. We all have that. We
yeah,
all have that awareness, but it really takes a flexible muscle to have enough experiences that allow you to then observe what's going on and what is being created in the space, and what different levels of consciousness. Because if you can communicate from your own experience but then also have the gift of sharing from an observer perspective, then you're able to speak to multiple different levels of consciousness at once.
interesting. Interesting that you feel that way. Yeah, whatever. It's for me is important, and I try to be the one I wanna hang out with. So therefore, I guess, yeah,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? I think that that's the
yeah,
most important part, is to really know
yeah,
who you are, know thyself, right?
yeah,
And once you know thyself, you realize that everybody else is your mirror. So
yeah,
everyone is your mirror. Everyone
yeah.
is part of you,
That's a trippy part, man. That's a very trippy pill to swallow, actually. Like
right?
to understand, like, okay, actually, everyone is a mirror of me, and all this
Exactly.
going on. Okay, okay, that's a lot to take in, man.
Right. So
I know.
so if everything is a part of you and everything is a reflection of you, and you know that
Yeah,
everybody is a part of your mirror, You are in the making, as your beautiful shirt says, you're in the making of understanding high levels of consciousness all at the time.
Yeah.
You are in the making of creating the awakened souls, or cultivating the awareness of the awakened souls, because everybody is you and you are everybody.
Yeah. 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 It's a trippy one, man. That's a trippy pills. A rocket pills. That was a rocket pill. Bro, we started with playfulness, and where did we end? Where are we now?
This is playful, no?
This is super playful, and I'm so grateful
For
that
me, this
you
is play. This is the fun part of
changing.
understanding.
I Yeah, I love that you changing names for our more meetings every time. That's so cool. I think we need to break patterns. It's just so simple it is. We just like we don't need to fight. We are the algorithm. That's it. We don't want to become another square algorithm, you know. It's a trap. don't don't grow up, it's a trap.
And the playfulness is, this has always been somebody, I think, not I think, I know for that we've wanted to just stay. Most of our nature,
Yeah.
right, is coming from this place of innocence, right?
Yeah.
It's this egoic paradigm, that wants to hold us, I think, more into a state of suffering. And this suffering is not, it's not conducive. You know, fear, uncertainty, and doubt has been the propaganda for way too long.
Bro, I want to add top it up the playfulness part with one thing. Uh, that what I noticed from my own experience with playfulness, when I'm playful and I'm curious and discovering and I don't know what I do, I just fucking do it anyways. I noticed that in that case, the universe plugs me in and provides me with so much energy, man. It's such a beautiful source of energy, the playfulness. Just think about it. You play for 5 minutes and then your energy is back. You forgot about the whole day, what happened before. Well, this is now my assumption, but I see that's how it works for me. It's fun, and it's super fulfilling. Martina, she's here now with me. She few years ago, I was in a struggle with Sarah, and Martina asked me a question, and I was just thanking her the other day for asking this question because it helped me to ground myself deeper into myself, you know, understanding and acceptance. She asked me, "Would you choose wife or your inner child?" And my immediate answer was non-negotiable, my inner child. This is the one I'm living with. This is my life experience, and I know I know enough about the feelings by now, that feelings and emotions and inner experiences, I cannot choose to suppress one of my feelings. If I suppress one of, let's say, playfulness, if I suppress my playfulness, it impacts everything.
Yep.
So I cannot choose one, take away, and like this is not a feeling anymore. It's just not, that's not how the things works.
This is profound because I can resonate with this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is why it's so important to really pay attention, because, I did that. I divorced my wife, uh, to heal my inner child. And if I was in the state of awareness that I was today, I would have taken way more responsibility, uh, at that time, but I didn't know
Yeah,
how. And so it's
exactly.
you see how everything is a mirror, and this is another
Yeah.
example how you are reflecting back to me, literally an experience that I've had. And so this is constantly happening all around the planet.
Yeah.
But most
Yeah.
people, like, if when I send you a song, I'm sending you what is being said through that person that's making me feel a certain way, that's going to then make you feel also a certain way. So
Yeah.
it literally is the communication of a third party that is allowing our
Yeah.
observation to then pay attention to our feeling, that is then communicating with something way more divine. And so this
Yeah.
is the observation of an awakened soul being able to communicate with another awakened soul, because at the end of it, our souls are one. So we're just a mirror
We
intelligence
are light.
of what's happening in each other's universe.
Oh man. And the beauty to recognize is to pay attention by listening and getting curious, as you say, actually to recognize the difference of our universes we live in. Because you and I, we think we live in the same universe, but if we go deeper in understanding of our experiences, how like environment and everything, we are in completely different, but at the same time on the same. It's a weird one.
What do you see the difference being?
The experience,
Mm, yeah.
the experience itself.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you ate breakfast with other people, I eat with other, like we have completely different stories, we live in completely different environments, we processing completely different things in a different times, maybe sometimes in synchronicity when we cry together, brother.
Which is by the
But
way
it's just
what makes it so special, because it's through those experiences that then we can mirror back each other's internal wisdom to one another,
uh-huh,
right?
uh-huh,
So
uh-huh. Yeah.
it's from those external experiences or circumstances that we've learned to hone in our internal nature, that we then are able to come back to any experience of life or any conversation with any individual, and then mirror back to each other the difficulties, the strengths, the pain, the pleasures of whatever is happening. And then the other person gets to see, hear, or understand that other person, but what they're really seeing is themselves.
Uh-huh. And that's fundamentally where orange pill leads as well. Start recognizing nature, start recognizing the world, start recognizing oneself, if depends on the entry level. Oh. Hey, good chats. Like the past three chats we had, they were pretty intense, man, in some way. Either me jump into some kind of channeling or you jump into channeling and just, oh, okay, it's done.
This is why we're here, my bro.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going for Easter Sunday at friends, and it's gonna be this time free. So call is not a. Maybe we can do it later or earlier.
Yeah, let's we can do it earlier, an hour, or is that, what do you feel?
Yeah, earlier an hour would work for me. Then I can land there. I can have a chat with you, and then I go into the party
Yeah, okay.
and be on time. 3 o'clock. Arrive. I park my rocket next to it.
Cool. Tomorrow I'll do it an hour earlier.
Perfect.
Okay, broski.
Yeah, man. Much love. Thank you.
This was
It's been an
amazing,
honor
broski.
to be in the rocket ship with you.
Let's do this.
Over.
Ciao, bro.